here, Dave here from Amplify, and I'm talking to Emeline, the magical Emeline, and we're about to have a chat about stuff. If I can find my 30s. So, Emeline, how are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Have you always wanted to be an artist? When did you get the songwriting bug?
Yeah, I don't think it was a choice for me. I like came out of the womb writing songs. Like since before I can remember. I just was like obsessed with coming up with melodies. Yeah.
Really? So
Yeah.
they said it's a girl and she's got a pen in her hand. I'm not sure quite, So they scanned
Yeah,
inside mum and you had half a song written already, and they had to, no, not quite. All right, okay. So,
precisely.
so you've been going since 2020, is that right? Around 2020?
Yeah, I probably put out my first single around 2020. I had some stuff up for a few years on YouTube. Some of those people are still with me, which is insane.
Okay,
Yeah, I had
so
a few different names here and there. Only the real ones know about those secret
I was going to
songs.
say, not many people started at the start of COVID, but you were going before COVID. Give us a brief description of the journey since then. I've got some things. Los Angeles via Rhode Island, plus fresh off the release of her debut EP, The Devil on My Bra Strap, a co-sign from Elton John, and standout syncs across Netflix and Apple TV. Now that's a pretty wide sort of rep.
Not bad name drops right there.
Exactly. Give us a bit of a breakdown in the last 5 years so that the fans can know what's taken place.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. I feel like I've been at it for honestly like 10 years. Just playing shows and I really wanted to make it as a songwriter. I moved out here straight out of high school, which was pre-2020. I've honestly been here for like 8 or 9 years. Um, and I tried to get in through like every avenue I could, like DMing anyone. Like I would search the Spotify credits and look up, the names that I liked and try to get into any room. So I always kind of intended as like making it as a songwriter first. It just felt more accessible to me. I always, had the goal of being an artist at the end of the day. But yeah, I think it's cool that the second I took a risk, I think, people liked it and no one's you can't like wait for someone to discover you. I think that like for
That's
some
right.
reason in
That's
my
right.
head I was kind of like,
That's right.
okay, like someone's gonna see this in me, but really like the people who saw it in me were the fans. And
Yeah.
um yeah, I really kind of blew up on TikTok. I had like a viral video. It was like 40 million views or something crazy. It was kind of back in the time where people weren't also necessarily yet posting songs
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah.
So yeah, utilizing like a space that wasn't like super occupied was like incredible for me. And I basically like met with every major label. It was like the craziest experience of my life. Lots of highs and lots of lows. But yeah, I basically like did the past 3.5 years at Capitol Records. So I had my whole major label experience. And then, yeah, I worked on a pop album for them, kind of like went their direction, and had the experience that many, many artists have where my entire team got fired and then I got dropped. So I've lived through the ringer. I'm honestly so grateful. I like, literally don't regret any part of it.
Labels,
But now I'm
labels,
like on the other
la-
side.
labels are, um, dishonest, like most other businesses, I suppose. Most of the time they're after an outcome, so they'll give you a carrot and another carrot and another carrot, and as soon as you drop a little bit, they're gone. What's the next situation? It's like they've got to get a return, and if Taylor has to come out and put her name all over her new music, and she had a bad contract, well then no one can have a good contract with them. Really, that's pretty bad. So, could you have gone further from LA as well? For people that don't know, Rhode Island's on the far right side of America, and obviously LA is on the far left as you look at it on a map. Why Rhode Island? It's
Uh,
close to New York, or what's the reason?
I mean, I grew up there, like born and raised there.
Oh, so it's
My
home. Rhode
Yeah,
Island's home, and then you
that's
went to
home for me.
LA, and then came back.
Yeah. I moved like a week out of high school. I did like a presentation for my students and teachers about how like the smartest move for me. I did like a graph of my idols and like the people who have made it on Billboard charts and like what their regret was in terms of like spending money going to college, or like you basically how many of them had wished they would have just moved to LA. And so like I applied to colleges. I like kind of did what my parents wanted, and then I was like, so in conclusion, I'm just gonna move across the country by myself at 18,
Smart
and
move.
can't stop me. So
Always a
they
smart
they
move.
they believed in me though. Like I don't think they would have let me if I was like bad. Not that everyone kind of starts with a passion and then they have to hone their craft, but like they believed that I could get
Doing
somewhere.
you is always doing you. Whether you're in the wrong place or the right place, you're still doing you. So it's always the right place by definition. And doing someone
Love
else
that.
or something else is never the right place, because even if you're on top and you've got a contract and you've got money and you're sticking your head between your knees, you're not doing you. So
Yeah.
but that's what you learn over the course of life most of the time. How would you describe your sound? They say pop force. Is that what it is?
Love
Or
that. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty blunt but also sparkly. I think that there's like a vintage quality to my the lilts I like to use and decorate myself with, but I lyrically am super blunt, and I like that crisp like vocal in your ear so that you can really hear what I'm saying. Yeah, in the past, I mean, big basses. I tried to work with like electronic and hip hop producers and put them into my pop world instead of working with pop producers who kind of tend to use, especially in Los Angeles, like flatter tones. I'd rather work with someone who's like a little out of the bounds. I think that's kind of how I got that sound with Solomon Fox on my song Cinderella's Dead. He's like a total R&B guy, and I just am so naturally pop that when we got together, we created something that was like so unique to itself. So yeah, I mean, I really like see what's special in a lot of different people. I love collaborating and like finding that mix of not being exactly like everyone else. But the next project, my debut album, is kind of, I would say, like my peak pop girl, like synth pop moment. And it's kind of the most like 80s inspired sonics that I've ever done.
when's that coming out?
So that's coming out at the top of next year, and I haven't announced the date yet, but it's
So at the
soon.
start of next year, when you say the top, you're not talking about the top,
Yeah,
the start of next year.
start.
Well,
Not the end of the year,
we
the
definitely look
beginning.
forward to it. Do you think that unique style you've got is why the fans resonated to it, or is there some performative style, or why do you think the fans really resonated to that early sort of stuff? Was it just a platform and they were yearning for anything, or was it that unique
I
style you
definitely
had?
I don't think it's the platform because
No,
I mean a lot of people know all these different moments from me, and I don't even think that I've necessarily been able to like connect all those moments together yet.
yeah,
I think that kind of happens when people like when you become like more of a celebrity.
yeah.
But for me, I think it's also the messaging. Like I love my melodies. Like I love pop. I love catchy melodies and like great songwriting, but I think that the thing that really hooked people was that like I'm unafraid to talk about, struggles and sexism and, just the way that like society treats women,
You're authentic.
and coming into your power as a
Sure.
young woman. And
Sure.
yeah, I mean, I had a really bad relationship. I've been really open about it in my songs. And I basically like absolutely lost myself, and recovering from that actually in the year of 2020. I was writing all these songs that like I was like, why aren't they like, blowing up, and I wasn't in my power. Like I wasn't myself. I was like living as this version,
Yeah.
like for this other person. And I actually explore that pain deeper on this project, and kind
Good.
of like dive into that, which was really healing for me. But yeah, I think I got to just explain that tragically common experience of re-finding yourself and never losing yourself again. Now I love that that was kind of what I got known for, because it's good incentive to stay empowered
Absolutely.
and never slide backwards.
Okay. Who are the artists that influenced you? There must have been some artists there that you sort of looked at that sort of inspired you to move down these paths.
Absolutely. Lyrically, like when I was a kid, I was obsessed with Alanis Morissette, and like I learned all of my inappropriate phrases from her, all my curse words. Like I owe it to that woman.
Very
She's so
unique.
blunt. I remember hearing her when I was like 10 years old and being like, you can just say things. Like, I
Yeah.
want to say things. Like, I'm angry. I want to say that I'm angry. And it was so badass to hear a woman speak like that. Cause, I mean, I also like, I loved like early country Taylor Swift, and like her melodies were obviously insane. But like, also I think like I'm used to hearing women sugarcoat things. And so she, I think, really uh, let me allowed myself to, she gave permission to me as a young artist to be honest. And also she's so rock and roll. Like I
Well, she's
learned
she's unique too.
guitar.
She didn't.
Yeah.
She does her own thing. It's not syrupy. She's not following some sort of, jump in, jump out of a cake sort of situation. She continues to do her own thing, and she's got a stack of people following her as a result. Obviously, she's got the most people, so that's good person to follow. Okay, let's get on to your music. Emotional Virgin has just been released. What's that all about?
That's my first love song. Obviously I've talked a lot about my trauma from the past, and I'm really excited to show that I'm at a place in my life where I am safe enough to let my heart open to someone who's actually deserving of it. So, and especially now that I've attracted all these fans who have been through hard things, it's easy for us who have been through that to fall back into a pattern. I was so inspired by the reaction of those fans to me that like I almost keep that as incentive to never go back. Like I have to lead almost by example now. And obviously life happens and sometimes you slip back into patterns, and I will write about that if it happens. But I've been really inspired that like now that that I have this power again, like I deserve love, and I want that, and I want that in a healthy way. And so, it's also kind of a commentary on a lot of my music also talks about like hookup culture, and honestly like that depth, it's like only skin deep. Now I'm kind of I almost feel like, yeah, I'm losing my emotional virginity. That's almost like more deep than the like hooking up with someone, or so it is the most vulnerable thing in the world to fall in love in such a sweet way.
It's obviously going to be on the album. Can you talk more about the album, about the tracks, or is that all secret?
Yeah, absolutely can. Yeah, I mean, I
Eight
kind of broke
tracks,
it
10 tracks,
into
12 tracks, 20 tracks? What sort of
there are 12
12? Yeah, good.
full album. It kind of starts in a darker place. It opens with my song Porn Star, which is out, which is, kind of the way that I feel like I was perceived by the person in that relationship that I sort of alluded to. And then halfway through, I kind of open myself up again, and I do that healing, and I fall in love, and I specifically fall in love with a girl, which is another like kind of type of emotional virginity. So and in my real life, I fell in love with a girl who then suddenly tragically passed away. So then
Oh,
have this
Sorry.
horrible heartbreak. And that actually happened the week that I was getting signed to the label. So it was like the highest high and the lowest low of my life at the same time. But I honestly was like, she would have wanted me to like get this deal and follow my dreams. And so I was like in so much pain, but I couldn't stop. And yeah, I had to like slow down though and like f let myself feel that after a while of like go, go, go. 'Cause, these numbers, like something blowing up like that, only that's like a once in a lifetime. You have to catch that moment, otherwise it goes away. So um
It's like a 10 on the Richter scale, and you can't just forget it. Let it. You can't just say, "Oh, I'll just move on to number one next," sort of thing. You're really up the top, and I can imagine. There's obviously a lot of metaphysical conversation that you could have around consciousness and death and what happens and all this sort of stuff, which you're doing. I mean, in this conversation here, you're being pretty smart, and you're going through the processes. I mean, you've got another 50 years in front of you or more, and you'll go through another five lives, and I'd love to talk to you in 50 years and come back and see how it marries up with what you're talking about now to some degree. But no, that's a massive event that takes place in the midst of all your toing and froing with your own personality and what's taking place and your expression, etc. A lot of people wouldn't come back from that or wouldn't continue or would take a big long break in between because they wouldn't be able to deal with it. So I applaud you in one sense to sort of say, okay, I've got to, it's another day. I've got to keep moving on. And you've got fans, and they're being influenced by what you do, so they're going to be influenced by that. So well done on one sense. It wouldn't have been bad if you did the other, but
exactly.
in some ways, well done. So that did. How long along the album had you been creating when that occurred? How long ago did that occur?
Honestly, I have been creating this album for almost 4 years, so 3.5 years.
And
So
when
one
did
of the
she pass?
songs, she passed in 2021 when I got signed. Yeah, so basically, like all of it, one of the songs is about like falling in love with her. That's Emotional Virgin. And then yeah, I mean another one is about queer love, which inspired by her, but also just like in general, like that experience in a broader sense. But yeah, I mean, and then there's a song where it's kind of like my heartbreak, my spiral, my anxiety. But the music like saved my life. I don't think I would have been able to I don't think anyone can get through anything without having like a way to channel it. Like we're not supposed to keep things in our bodies. So, I think that releasing this is going to release a
Yes.
lot because there's clearly a lot of years, and then hopefully it can help heal other people from whatever it is they hear the music as. That's always been like my life goal is to be a healer. And I always think about the phrase like healed people heal people, and I really want to be like I want to heal myself so that I can be that for other people.
Well, I think we live in the influence age, and what works these days is authenticity, and it sounds like you're pretty authentic in the way that you produce what you're producing. Not just so much. There's not a looking to become famous or a star or anything like that. You're just putting it out there and trying to build your empire around that authentic expression. And I think the album sounds like it's going to be an event rather than just an artistic creation. So I'll look forward to it coming out myself. So
Thanks.
I'll listen to it. Okay, what tours and events are coming up? Where are you performing?
I am working on a world tour. I basically just created an RSVP link to see like where people want me to come to, but I want to go as many places as possible. I have mostly international fans, less Australian fans. So I really want to book a tour there. Nothing's been announced yet, but it'll all be like first
Around the
first half of
album?
2026. Sorry?
Around the album?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Emotional Virgin tour.
Well, we look forward to that as well. And as you know, Aussie fans are pretty. most of the people I talk to a lot of people talk about Australian having Australian fans being sort of pretty special. So I'm sure that your fans will come out for that. That'll be pretty cool. Okay, so aspirations. What are the long-term aspirations still? What are you looking to achieve in this long future you've got? Is there some digital video? Is there acting? Is there, what do you hope to keep doing in the future?
I'm a big dreamer. Yeah, I mean, I also have been acting since I was a tiny child. Ideally, I mean, I would love to direct and write, feature films and score them. Um, I would love to get to the point musically where I can fill stadiums. I also would be like absolutely so happy to play small venues for the rest of my life. Like I just want to have that, I want to be able to support myself. At the end of the day, for me, it's about pride. I am so proud of my work, and whether or not this is a number one or not, like I was truly myself in the work that I made. And yeah, I think that I really can't wait to dive into having a touring career. I think I haven't been able to like fully, I've never left the States, or I've never left North America in touring, and honestly that has been the most rewarding experience of my life, is actually meeting people and like having conversation with people who do know my music. And that is like what's gotten me back into the studio, because it was so inspiring to me to hear those stories from fans. So I can't wait to get back on the road. But yeah, I mean, I have big aspirations. I love writing. I'm working on writing out actually some I want to do like a little pilot which entails some of the experience I've had with my best friend. I have a love song for my platonic female best friend on the project. And the way that she kind of caught me, I met her 2 days after my girlfriend passed away, and she like caught me in that fall, and we needed each other. And so then it's also this like ode to female friendship. And yeah, I have a lyric about how I was so sad. I was like getting ghosted by someone, and she like put on ABBA and grabbed me, and like we went and danced in the street, and like it
Which
was just
song?
like so much
Which
joy.
song?
It's called Your Friends Like Me Better, misleading
What is that, an
misleading
ABBA
song
song?
title. Which ABBA song? Oh
Yeah.
my God, I think we put on the whole album.
I had to some when it when the just a bit of a digression. When the album came out, I was a retailer and I was working as a junior salesman or a salesman in the 70s, and we had one of these speaker carry around mics in the department store, and we just bought, I think it was Money, 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 or one of those singles, and we had it on a table, and everyone was around just with no one there, and I had to spruik it all day long. So I've got this ABBA sort of, fear sort of thing. That was big.
Big inspo for this album. I would say that ABBA is was kind of like my obsession when I was writing this
Well,
project.
I
And
think they're simple. They
yeah,
weren't anything. They were simple, and they sort of, Sarah Bareilles their way through a song. It's just that. They just the vocal and just the look and the way you go. And they had a massive amount of fans, ridiculous amount of fans, especially here because they broke here early.
of
Massive,
course they did.
massive, massive, massive. So that's cool. All right, let's finish with some quick fire questions to just finish off to sort of get some more knowledge about you. What's the craziest thing you've ever done?
Oh,
Legal.
this is not. I'm like,
Legal.
there's. I don't even know what to say.
For
The
some
craziest thing I've ever done.
for some people it's simple because they know
Maybe
something, but for other people they don't do it because the things that they'd say would be illegal. They wouldn't be
I
able to do it.
know that I too many inappropriate things just came in my head. Um, I skied off of a glacier without a shirt on last year.
You like to ski.
I love to ski.
Tell you right, here we come. What's the one topic you can talk about for hours?
Music,
Of
cop out,
course.
but
Of course.
meh, it's true.
What's the thing you like most about yourself?
My heart, my kindness.
Yeah, I think what I feel is, there's some it's intelligent. What you're doing is intelligent. I'm sure you'll come across, backwards and forwards like you're saying, twos and fro's and all that sort of stuff. But it seems like you got a pretty good handle on what's taking place, and you're ready to get punched in the head, sort of thing, and just move on. So that's cool. All right, all time or just current favorites, favorite album.
Anti Rihanna.
Oh, what a superstar. Favorite artist.
The way that I when you say fire questions, I immediately am like, oh shit. Oh, favorite artist, you said?
Yeah.
Queen.
Oh, superstar. Freddie, imagine half microphone, live aid. Imagine if you were on stage with him over there at bloody hundreds of thousands of people in the
That's
audience.
my like alive or dead question. It's him.
Ah, he's just unbelievable. Well, there's an alive and dead that I
Oh
would
shit.
have asked an alive and dead before, but he is, and again, a simple guy, but predominantly just performance performer. Favorite movie?
Heather's.
Heather's. Favorite place to visit?
My mom's cottage in Massachusetts.
God bless Boston. Favorite venue to play? It'll have to be
I
America.
haven't
There's ever
played
been.
enough. Um, can I say one that I haven't played?
Sure, you
No,
say
that
whatever you want. You're
I
counting.
want to play my like hometown like Lupo's, my hometown theater in Providence. It's
Go and
called the
do it.
Strand now, but I will dead name it because
And
it's really
the next time we talk, you can tell me that you did it. Favorite food?
like Nutella crepe. Well, I don't know why I pronounced that
Is
kind of
that
gave
a
me the
food? That's a snack, isn't it?
yeah,
That's all right.
I feel like that's a food, but I can give you another one. I like a
No,
filet
no,
mignon
that's all right. That's all right. A filet mignon, a steak. Favorite drink?
lemonade.
But lemonade.
Yeah, I drink lemonade like every day.
Favorite person in history, apart from me.
Ooh,
Mum,
there's so many people.
Gandhi, Madonna. You can name anybody.
The range. Um,
Pass.
is it crazy to say Lana Del Rey? I love Lana Del
No,
Rey.
she's fantastic. She's fantastic. We want to be crazy. She's fantastic. And favorite,
I felt like I should say an activist, but the only thing I could think of was Lana Del Rey.
I can see activism in your future.
Absolutely.
Eventually you're going to get somewhere where you detach from some of this stuff, still play music, but you're going to be out there and you're going to be saying, no kings or something or other. You're going to be going,
No
killing.
Kings it is. Absolutely. Anyone who cares should absolutely be an actor. I think
And
artists who
and when
are saying anything,
you think about Joan of Arc, she was 19 or something or other on the front, burned at the stake, running armies, and that's a life. It doesn't matter you go at 19, you've done your thing. You
hey,
know,
Joan of Arc is a good one. Favorite person in
uh,
history.
if you're gonna
She's a good
come,
one.
if you're gonna come here, do your thing.
Yeah.
So do your thing. Doesn't matter what your thing is, do your thing and get it done and get out there and have one person like it or a billion people. It doesn't make any difference. All right, tattoo. Last question. Favorite tattoo? You got a tattoo or are you clean skin?
Do have a tattoo. I would say this is not a tattoo, by the way. I just put on a fake one, but lots of people think I have a neck tattoo. I have this hand done.
Ah, wow. And what's the word
Um,
there? What's the word say?
it says Rambler because I
Um,
ramble. But yeah, it was actually that I was coming out of seeing someone who was toxic and who made me feel like kind of bad about the way that I talk so much, even though I'm hilarious and you're welcome. And I was working with this producer on this album actually, and he had this bracelet that said Rambler on it. And I was like, "Do you mind if I wear that? Like, I feel like I need this for strength." And I wore it, and then he was like, "Can I have my bracelet?" I didn't take it off for 3 weeks when we were writing this album. When I went to give it back, I like literally did not want to take it off my wrist. And I was like, "Do you mind if I like take a picture of this and get it tattooed so it never leaves me.
Well,
Um,
listen,
so I got it. So my producer, Peter Thomas, on this album, this is his bracelet, and then this is this cool artist, Stab D is her username. But I've been wanting to get one of her tattoos for, or their maybe one of their tattoos for years, and then I basically let them like kind of freestyle. I picked out the type of flower from their book, but like I basically let them freestyle this on me, which I cannot believe I let them do that because I have to think
painful,
through things for years.
painful.
Honestly, so the name of their studio is Angel Kisses because people say that their tattoos feel like angel kisses. It's like tiny needles. I have a high pain tolerance. I mean, it was really painful around the bend, which I have to redo because it faded, but honestly, it wasn't as bad as I think like I was expecting the hand to be.
Well,
Wasn't horrible. I have period cramps that are awful, so like everything else is tattoo is less bad than my period cramps.
that's a subject that I didn't think we'd get to, but still, that's good. No, that's
Uh,
cool. I think,
it's
look,
a stigma.
be the light you're supposed to be. A light shines on everyone. It doesn't discern. And so when we're thinking about making money or getting fame or doing the right thing or doing the wrong thing, just think about being your light, and the light's just going to shine, and it doesn't need an outcome. It just shines. It just shines wherever it goes. And so just be that light and shine wherever you go, and don't worry about all the rest of stuff. I can see you have a big everything. You have big
Yeah.
experiences, you have big losses, big gains, but you'll do it all big. And it reminds me of Theodore Roosevelt. He said, far better to dare mighty things to win glorious triumphs, even though checkered by failure, than to take rank with those poor spirits that neither suffer much nor enjoy much because they live in the grey twilight that knows not victory nor defeat. So
Wow.
basically, live big, fail big, do everything big, and just forget about the rest. Let everyone else comment about who you are and what you are, and you just get on with doing what you're doing. All right. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time. We'll share this around, and good luck with everything. Good luck with the album. Good luck with the tour. We look forward to seeing you when you're coming out.
I'll see you in Australia.
Good on you, man. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time.
Bye.
Bye bye.